Right, hopefully audio is all good. Right, so bit of a rushed intro from myself, but we are back for Papa Champs, my second commentary for this league. We will be joined by Papa Wallace, or Mike, once his update is done. He has already on the update and the party invite, so he'll join at some point during probably the one-shot qualifying or just beforehand. But while we are waiting for the drivers to load up their setups, we can have a little bit of explanation about what tonight's race consists of. This race is the Rainbow Tires round, the Rainbow Tires gimmick round, as I believe someone's pressed it a little bit too early, I believe. But in summary, with this particular race, all 5 tires must be used in this race, all 39 laps. But there is no order in which you do have to use them. So there's a little bit of strategic gambles to go into this race, because you do have to use absolutely everything, as Wallace has managed to join. We really should go on board with this. Let's see if I can find a person who's currently, it looks like it's Kizlesco. There it is. We'll go on board, if I can find him. It is Jamie, who's currently leading the field. He's just been pipped a little bit by the likes of Scott and Panda. He's been back ahead now as Goose has already retired. He would normally be doing the commentary work, but he had to rush home, so he is doing the racing on this round. Only 11 drivers, as Kirby has also retired. Simulation damage, you do have to be careful of it in this round. It's going to be maybe not so much a input in this round due to the nature of the track being the track and the nature of the racing we will be doing could make this a little bit more of an interesting one on that particular front. Scott, meanwhile, does still lead here on the one-shot qualifying lap, just ahead as they go into Tabac. As we go into Tabac, coming into Raskas and into Anthony Knowles to finish. It's going to be pretty close. Team Panda, Scott and Jamie. Jamie has just taken it. Panda's back ahead. Who's going to get it coming to the line? It's going to be Jamie. Jamie edges it right towards the line, and Jamie is quickest. And also, good evening if you can hear me and if you have your audio included, Mike. The other comment.
I certainly have, I think,
once
Sam.
again. Yep, I can hear you loud and clear. So, welcome, Mike. Very close qualifying. It's all good.
It is, isn't it? Wow.
Yep, 0.084 between Panda and Jamie. Scott not too far back, with Kazlesco not too far back either, and then we have a little bit of a gap further behind that, as I don't know how Jerry managed to get himself disqualified from the, I think he must have invalidated. I don't know how you invalidate around this track. Not many corners you can invalidate on. But
that include every corner.
Who knows? But obviously, since we now have Mike in the commentary box as well, we can get the words of what Mike thinks on this track while we are waiting for the drivers to ready up and what he thinks about this particular gimmick, the Rainbow Tires Challenge.
Well, first of all, I really would like to apologise for me being late. I knew there was a patch, but I think you know why I've been late.
Yes,
got loads of things been going on. Yeah, so yeah, Monaco, not my favourite track, I must admit. I perhaps do one clean lap out of every 100. But as for the gimmick, I think it's original, and I'm quite looking forward to it. It'd be interesting to see what people's strategies are. I don't know how the hell I'd go ahead with it. I don't know what my strategy would be. Would I do them all at once? I don't know. What about you, Sam?
I mean, I have had experience of doing this particular challenge, not on this track, but around Spa-Francorchamps, I believe, on last year's game. And we had to do that, and I believe that was also a dry race. But it's going to be very, let's just say, it's going to be an interesting way that people decide to do their strategies for a particular track like this. Do you go quick and try and build a gap up, or do you decide to go for the gamble earlier on the wets or the intermediates, and then use your dry tyres later on when you know people have to use the wet compounds of tyres? It's going to be an interesting way to see how people actually go about this.
Certainly is, Sam. Certainly is. Did I see right that young Mr. Goose is racing tonight.
Yes, he is. He is. He had to rush home, and it was easier for me to cover the commentary duties for this round. He
Lovely.
will be back as from normal next round from round number 7.
No
Don't know what
problem.
round number 7 actually is though.
Yeah, I'll just have a quick look because I'd like to know that myself. Yeah, this is round 6, Monaco.
Yes.
Yeah.
The
Like I
simulation
say,
damage around here in particular adds a little bit of extra spice to this particular race because you need to be a lot more careful of the walls than you usually do around Monaco.
definitely. I like I say, when I'm driving on here, Sam, I've spoke to a few people and they say it happens to them, but it feels like the actual walls at the side of the track sort of like come in, they swallow you up, and I'm not the best at driving. I know I'm not, but it seems to just overpower me. This place does. I practice and practice, but I don't get any better.
Indeed, I mean, this is the one track where I do think that you don't need to practice nearly as much as what I think you really do because there's a lot of luck involved with a track like this and how
Yeah,
close you
definitely.
can get to the barriers without getting too close where you end up touching the barriers themselves and either losing either part of your front wing or a wheel.
Correct.
It's and obviously in simulation damage as well. It makes the car even more sensitive to damage, and it means that we may well see drivers be a little bit more cautious going into this. We only have 11 drivers for this round as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you, who do you think your favourite is going to be going into the race for 39 laps ahead of this Monaco Grand Prix around the Principality?
Well, having watched young Mr. Goose week before last driving for ERC, I think he's an hidden talent, but you can't help but fancy Jamie. I'll go for Jamie. I know he's set fastest lap and everything, but I think he's raced around here a lot of times, and I believe he's not too bad around here.
I believe we're having a little bit of audio crackling, so if you just bear with a second, if you are able just to send me an invite back to the party in just a second.
No worries.
Right.
Back again.
Hopefully that helps with now hosting the party.
Who's
Just need to
complaining,
make
Sam?
sure.
Because it sounded good to me.
It's playback in Twitch's end.
Ah, right. Yeah, Austria next week.
Austria. Oh, that could be an interesting one. A very short lap around Austria, a lot of chances for overtaking and a lot of chances for battling. That could be an interesting one. And we have Andrew saying me when I bin it in the tunnel.
Well, if anybody can bin it in a tunnel, Andrew can.
Yep, that would.
Yeah, when I'd seen, like, I've done me pack. Oh, here we go. Are we doing formation lap?
Yes, formation lap has been fixed after the latest patch, so we can use the formation lap. This is the crucial thing. What are the tyres looking like on each car? Oh, interesting. So,
interesting, yes.
Jamie out front is going for the gap early on. Soft compound tyres for him. Behind him, Panda. Medium compound tyres. Less than a tenth separated these two in qualifying. It literally came down to the last corner of the track, much like Alonso versus Verstappen in real life in qualifying here this year.
Yeah.
And
interested to see a couple of new drivers tonight to Sambo as well.
Kizlesko and Grumpy Line, those two I believe
Grumpy
are
Line,
new drivers that I have not seen race before. I know Grumpy Line, he's not fully up to speed, but the other Dutchman should be okay once he gets going. So Scott and Kizlesko, hard tyres. Vapid is gone for the soft as well, so he's hoping to make some ground early on. Looks like Cal has had an issue on the formation lap and has been disqualified. Must have had contact with Kirby, I believe. Those two are both back on the grid. So that's going to be an interesting one to see how their cold tyres affect them. Lion on his debut in 7th is on the mediums. We have Andrew in 9th on the hards, Angelo in 10th, and then Jerry in 11th on the hards with Angelo on the 10th on the mediums. But
Yeah,
what
could be
strategy
a
do you think is
problem.
going to play out here? Oh, we've had a lot of problems in the
Oh,
midfield there.
I was just going to say you're on about cold tyres on the start line and everything, especially with a short start straight and a very tight right hand corner to start with. Them tyres need to be up to temperature, don't they? Really,
Yep.
but
As we
I
are
think
about to go racing.
yeah, I think I'd have gone soft to start off with, especially Jamie's
Yes.
position on pole. But anyway, here we go.
We just need to get this off of as we are now getting the 5 red lights appearing on the screen. I don't know how many 5 red lights there are. There are 5 red lights on now. Not the best camera angle as Jamie will probably get the
It's
best start
focused.
off the start there. It looks like there's a good start there for someone at the back there. I believe that's Goose who's up a few positions. We have Vapid who's up to third, obviously on those soft compound tyres alongside Scott. Scott obviously on those hard compound tyres, taking a little bit of time to come up to heat as Panda looks like he's trying to challenge Jamie for the race lead. They've got a bit of a gap already on Vapid, 1.5 seconds, and I believe they've battled going up the hill. And
Yeah,
Jamie does hold the lead for now as they head down towards the chicane, taken at the low speed we see in Formula 1, only about 30 miles an hour.
yeah. Miraculously, nobody has come to any mistakes at the moment, and we come down into the tunnel.
Indeed, let's see if Goose can make it through the tunnel. I think he has made it through on this first lap.
Panda's driving well. Being he's got medium tyres on, he's pushing Jamie.
Indeed, it's only a tenth and a half between the two of them, as it is really all about just seeing how much you can push around the particular track list. You've got to also be careful with simulation damage of not taking, ignore that strategy screen, that's going to be completely irrelevant for this race.
Yeah, definitely.
So for how long, what do we reckon the strategy here for Panda is, sitting behind the Jamie, obviously being a master of Monaco, as prevailed by himself, the man himself. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, and how do you think, as I say, Panda goes about achieving improvements and getting himself ahead, and maybe on strategy here?
It's difficult, as you know, Sam. Passing on this track, he could do with getting past Jamie, obviously, and getting a bit of a gap. But like I say, getting there, catching somebody is one thing. Actually passing them on this track is something else.
Indeed,
But,
as we have Angelo already taking the gamble on lap 1 onto the wet, so he's getting one of the 2 wet tyre compounds out of the way and probably just going for a lap and then coming back in, I would think.
But yeah, don't blame him. Not a bad strategy. But a little gap developing between Panda and Vacoot.
Jerry and
with
Goose,
Scott.
I believe, have just had a battle. They're going side by side, and Jerry is ahead.
Jerry's got past Goose.
And it looks like
I'm getting a really
back.
poor camera angle when I go back in the pack. Really
Indeed,
poor.
yep. The camera angles on this game are terrible as Jamie sets the fast lap once again, and Vapid then immediately improves as we have an R car into the pits. That is Goose on lap number
Goose.
1.
Yeah.
As Cal is now behind Jerry by about 1.9 seconds. And
Goose
it looks like
the
Lion.
on.
Yep, he is going for that now. It's Grumpy or Lion. They're side by side up the hill. There's contact.
Oh dear. He's got going again, hasn't he?
Oh, that's a problem. There's no ghosting, so he has to wait.
Oh, that's a bad place. That's a bad place. Oh, mind you.
Got to be careful with that one as we have a VSE deployed, so that should slow it down for a little bit. Just the slightest bit of contact. I believe that I did see a bit of front wing fly off Grumpy or Lion's car there, so might be opportunity for him to pit as we have a virtual safety car, which is an improvement on Monaco because they never used to see the safety car virtual safety car ever come out of Monaco unless there was like a 10 car pile up.
Well, that'll give a chance for the marshals to shift that little piece of carbon that's on the track.
Indeed, to note one other thing. Kirby doesn't have a front wing.
Oh, no, he doesn't. You're right. Angelo's gone on to the second wet option. He's on the
He has got those both
now.
out of the way, and he is now done on that.
I think that perhaps is the way to go. You know, it's we'll also
Panda into the pits and Vapid into the pits.
Yeah. Panda's
wet tyres for Vapid.
Yeah.
And what does Panda go on to?
Panda's on the
wet tyres as well.
Vapid.
Kirby with a 5-second penalty with a collision with Cal.
Oh dear. Just Jerry's.
That must have been coming into the pits.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, they both entered the pits. So Susheri's put the wets on, Grumpy Lion's on mediums, Kirby's put the wets on.
I wonder if Lion has
Cal's put
real.
the
Oh no, he
mediums
is on
on.
the wets as well.
Yeah.
Compare Lion. Cal has gone for the. Cal's still in the mediums. I believe he's not yet come
Yeah.
into his box.
No. He's just coming out now.
Yep. Interesting. Oh, is Cal still in the mediums? Yes, he is.
Yeah.
What did Cal start on? Did he start in the softs, or did he start in the mediums there?
No, he didn't. I'm sure he's on the hards. Positive
Okay,
he's on
so
the
two
hards,
dry
Sam.
compounds for Cal to begin with. Oh, we have a yellow. Down, is that at the harbour side?
Grumpy Lion. Grumpy Lion's on these
Yep,
wets.
he's lost his front wing.
He has.
We have yet another, I think, a virtual safety. Is that virtual safety car still out from before?
No, it went off, mate. It's come back on again. He's having trouble steering, really. Oh, yeah. He's doing some drifting.
Jamie and Kezlesgo into the pits from the lead and what I believe was second place. So Pat is carried on.
Wets.
Jamie,
Wets.
they're both onto that. As we have Angelo onto the softs now. So Angelo, I believe, only has the hards left, I believe.
I think he's got the right strategy, you know. But he is going quite slow.
Indeed, obviously, that's as the virtual safety car obviously will slow everyone down. So, for someone like Scott at this moment in time, what's his thought process, do you think, going through this?
I think his thought process is to get as far in front as he can. But who knows with Scott? He's got his own mind, as we know of.
Indeed, as Jerry's on to the intermediates, and I believe Kirby will probably also go on to the inters as well.
Right, I'm going to have a look at stops because...
See exactly what's going on, obviously.
Angelo's got... He's used three different types of tyres up to yet.
He started on the softs. Was he? Yep, there we go.
Goose has... Yeah, Goose
medium compound tyres.
Third set. Interesting this is.
As now we're going to start to see this is obviously Cal on the dry tyres. This is going to be the thing here. Cal needs to be a little bit careful here not to have an issue with the fact that Vapid is on a compound that is completely unsuitable for the conditions and will not have the same grip level. Yeah,
you've got to be cautious, Cal has behind Vapid.
See if he does able to make the move stick as we go through towards Raskas, and Anthony knows, can he do the Raskas dive bomb? Whoa, that's a big moment from Cal there.
He's gone white. Oh, he's gone in the pits as does he? Yeah.
Yep, so Cal has carried on. So Cal's doing a completely different strategy to almost everyone else. To note though, I've noticed one thing with Cal, his fuel light is on, so he's under-fueled the car.
He certainly has, you're right there, mate. Didn't notice that, yeah. And
Jamie is on the inters now, so he's coming back out in third.
Yeah, Panda's on an amber warning on his fuel too.
Yeah, the thing is, I always found Monaco to be a really fuel-hungry track, even though it's one of the slowest on the calendar.
You're up and down the gears, aren't you?
Yeah, much like Zandvoort as well. That's another one of the tracks as well, which is a very sort of high fuel burn track. Like this track, it's weird with a track like this that it actually does work like that.
Yeah, you notice Scott's got a 40-second lead.
Indeed, yes, but he still has to use both of the wet compounds, doesn't he? As we have the two intermediate runners of Kozlesko and Jamie very close as we head towards Tabak.
Yes, you'll definitely see Kozlenko's car in the dark, wouldn't you?
Yes, indeed. I believe that is an IndyCar livery, or what is trying to be an IndyCar livery. As close as you can really get anyway, with limitations of this game, as they're both into the pits.
Yeah.
I believe they have used both of those tyre compounds now, so it is hard compound tyres for Kozlesko as we have a yellow as Goose is out. What has happened?
Oh dear.
It's Tunnel, I think.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Where is he dead in the tunnel? Where's he died? Oh, it's not Tunnel. It's definitely not Tunnel.
Is it there?
I think it's Tabak or somewhere around about Tabak, potentially.
It's right as you come up out the tunnel, back on the chicane. His car's in the corner. It's gone now. It's gone now.
I didn't even see what happened there. Scott's taken this opportunity to go in the wet, so this safety car has helped Scott out massively.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Kirby's in the pits now as well.
Yep, it's Kirby from P9, I believe. He was about to get lapped probably that lap if he got
He's
another
putting the
lap
softs on
around.
now, Kirby. Yeah, Kirby is. Grumpier Lion is he's getting rid of the hards and going on to. Oh, I can't see. It's softs.
Indeed.
So at the moment, we've got Kirby and Angelo on 4 stops, as well as Grumpy Lion. So them 3.
Yep, 4 stops.
We'll
Only
only have
1 stop for Cal, and I think Cal's now into the wets as well. Cal may have played an absolute blinder here, but he's had to replace his front wing, so that does say to me that he definitely got damage in that pit, the incident he nearly had. Anthony knows. Raskash rather. Eventually got the corner name right. As we have, there is Vapid has a drive-through for speeding under the safety car. Panda 5 second. Oh, 5-second penalty for crossing the pit lane. That's you got to be careful of doing that, you know.
Particularly, it's like on a bottleneck, isn't it? And it does catch you out.
Ooh, so apparently Andrew glitched into the wall at the pool section. Apparently.
Oh, that's any excuse, Andrew. Always blame a glitch. You bet his fringe come over his eyes, mate.
Jesus.
reaching for his bottle of water.
Yeah, he's trying to look for that pint of water somewhere.
Yeah, stay hydrated, mate. Yeah.
Yes.
So interesting. Scott's pitted again.
Intermediates. He
Scott's
still has 48
now.
seconds. This actually, he could play this massively if he's actually careful here.
I'd be doing a lap on the safety car now. Get them off.
I think Cal's also going to come back in this lap, put the intermediates on, and then go on to potentially. Cal's used the mediums and the softs, if I'm correct. As Cal is indeed back into the pit lane again, and someone else has followed. I believe that is Panda right behind him. As now it comes.
I wish I'd have made a note of what people were using, but I don't think anybody would have been quick enough to do that.
Okay, so Scott has used the hards, the wets, and the enters so far.
Right.
Vapid softs, wets, enters, and now hards. So he's now in hard compound tires. Because Let's Go has gone hards, wets, intermediates back onto the hards. So he's still got to use the mediums and the softs. Jamie has used the softs and the mediums to the dries, and he's used the wets and the intermediates, so he's only left with the hard compound tires to use. Jerry is on the hards, then the wets, then the intermediates, and now the softs. Angelo does not necessarily need to pit again, he has used all 5 compounds.
Well, that puts Angelo in a very good position then.
Indeed. Cal, hards, mediums, wets, and enters. He has used the softs. I'm not sure that's the best choice there from Cal. I would have maybe used the softs a little bit in one of those stints instead of the mediums potentially.
Right, Scott's pitted again.
He's probably getting off that and getting a different tire.
He's put the mediums on now.
Panda has used all the tire compounds now as well. I have noticed he's now in the hards. Grumpy Lion, I believe, has also used all the tire compounds, so he is free to use any tire compound. And then your final runner, Kirby, at the moment, has used all 5 tire compounds as well.
Right, so. Well.
As I say, Vapid's in a bit of trouble here, though, with that drive-through. He is probably going to drop back a fair bit as Cal's on the intermediates, probably going on to a dry compound tire, potentially the softs, or something else. As I say, this means that the full field hasn't caught up yet, as he's now into the soft, so that is now all the tire compounds used for Cal.
We have got some gaps, haven't we? We have got some big gaps to fill. Could see another couple of laps of the safety car.
Yep.
Which
normally only stays out for about 3 laps usually.
But this is interesting. It's thrown my theory right out the window now. So everybody's using the safety car now.
5 second for
Goldie
Lion for
Lion's
speeding
got
in the
another
pit lane.
5. Yeah,
I believe that's his second of this race so far.
it is.
It's in this lap, the safety car. So
Wow.
Panda's not going to be able to catch it.
Oh,
Panda's in a little bit of
Panda,
trouble here.
Cal, Kirby, and Grumpy. Yeah, well out of it. Well out of it.
So, Vapid, how does he approach this start? Because obviously he needs to serve this, I believe. I don't know if he's going to go straight in immediately. No, he's not. He has bolted. I think his Lesko's been caught out a little bit.
He's gone. Yeah, maybe. Oh, I don't know. I don't know the thought processes of what people are going to be doing now. But I'd like to get them out of the way personally. But everybody's the same, Sam, are they?
Indeed, as Jamie is looking to try and get in for third place, he's trying to cut past Kozlesko. Kozlesko has fell a little bit behind Vapid, and obviously Jamie would be able to see that Vapid in the lead has a drive-through penalty and will have to serve that within the next 3 laps or face getting disqualified from the session. If he does not, is Jamie in the, I believe the livery that Kozlesko is trying to look at is a DHL IndyCar livery or something of that kind. It looks very much like the colours of that.
I'm just looking with. I'm on with Panda and Angelismo as well now. Angelo, sorry. Panda's he's obviously got to find somewhere to take Angelo, but they are catching slow traffic up now, which is going to put them well behind.
I think Jerry's already fell out of a second, and he's only just about hanging on there.
Yeah, Scott's hanging on to Jamie's diffuser. Well, he's got these nice little group now.
There we go, Vapid serving the drive-through.
Yeah. 5 or 6 cars now, closely grouped.
Yep, Jamie is about 2/10 behind Kozlesko now. This is now the battle for the lead between Kozlesko and the pseudo DHL livery versus Jamie. And I believe a bit of a, I don't know if it's a changed livery or if it's the one he ran from the beginning of the season, but 3 very distinctive liveries within the top 3.
Definitely.
Look how close Scott got through there. He was almost pushing Jamie through there, and obviously we have a yellow once again. That looks like, is that up the hill potentially that we've had an issue for? Is that Grumpy Lion?
It's Cal. It's
Cal. Cal's had an issue. I think he's got going, but I think he may well have damage based on the fact that it took him a little bit to get going there as we headed towards the
I think he hit the wall
square.
He spun again. I think he hit the wall at the start-finish straight.
I believe he's. Look how close this battle is between first and I believe round about 6th. Obviously, these are all the guys that were in that safety car as it came in. We're not caught out in this latest as it looks like. There's another incident there. I think Cal spun again. His tyres being overheated have not helped.
Yeah, very
so Cal is going to have to pit for a new set of tyres. Maybe a set of hards to take him to the end of the Grand Prix. And he should be able to do that.
DRS. What use it makes around here, I don't know, but
yeah, DRS is. You may as well say DRS is ineffective in a trial like this because unless you're close enough, you're not going to be making a move anywhere.
No, saying that.
Like Panda. Oh, nope. No, he's not managed it. I thought he got close going up the hill, but he wasn't able to get close enough to Angelo. Obviously, these two very close on pace in terms of the Dutchman and the Italian.
What I have noticed is Kozlesko gets away on the straights, but isn't. Jamie and Scott are both catching him on corners. So
that's another thing for Cal through to back again. I think he's still having issues with no front wing potentially. But as I say, look at this, how close this is between the first all the way down to about 6th. It's amazing how close this actually is, considering obviously this is Monaco for you. It is a massive DRS, it can be a massive DRS train where you really have to pick your moment of where you want to make your move stick.
Yeah, Angelo and Panda have done well to catch up to this group actually. Because they were quite a few seconds behind after the restart, weren't they?
Yes, they were. Vapid is catching as well. He is in 7th and he's got a good gap ahead. As we have, they have another yellow. I believe that's Cal again. That's Cal into Mirabal, I believe, has had an issue.
Yeah. He's still on them softs, so.
I wonder why is he still. Does he have a wing on that car? Because it seems like he's having a little bit of trouble. I've noticed actually as well,
Oh,
in all of that, when did Jamie
he's going
manage
to
to
get
pit
lapped.
past Kozlezko? Was that always like that, or was it the other way around?
No. He must have taken over. He must have took over when we were watching
Yeah, it must have happened off camera
Cal.
because I did not see
No,
that while that was happening as Cal. That's
it's
just Cal
Scott.
getting out of the way in the
Scott.
tunnel.
Here's Scott
Down the
coming
inside!
down the tunnel. Yeah,
That is a good
he's
move
made a
from
move.
Scott there, down the inside.
Yeah, class move that was, Scott. Well done. Jamie's got
And
a
now
little bit of an advantage.
1.2 seconds now the gap, but Scott did keep him on his paces in the one-shot qualifying, so let's see if the Northern Irishman can get any closer
Oh,
to the back. That is just Cal once again having
it
issues
is, yeah.
again.
So that.
As it looks like Jerry now, is he going to try and line up a move here? He does have Angelo right behind him. The Italian is trying to make a move here, but he's not managed to do anything as we go in towards turn number 1. But he still does have Panda all over the back of him. The Dutchman still looking to try and make a move as he almost thought going too wide up the hill.
These three are close, aren't they? Jerry,
Angelo. The thing is, Jerry's tyres are going to be dying soon as there goes Cal from the race. I wonder if this will cause a... I think that is in pit lane for Cal, so there will be no safety car from that.
Yeah, he's in pit lane.
Yep, so that's unfortunate for race from Cal. Just a lot of mistakes there from overheated tyres. Not helped him out at all, as it looks like Scott, because Lesgo is now a bottleneck to the cars in front.
Angelo's coming down the tunnel.
Yes, he is. Side by side. Almost. It's very difficult to go side by side through there. Also, just ignore the yellow flags. Cars, for some reason, even though they retire in pits, come back out. It's a stupid glitch with this game. Something they still haven't fixed. Anyway, though, enough bashing on the game. Back to the race. As Panda looks like he's dropped off a little bit, and Angelo now is looking at the back of Jerry once again, much closer this time. However, he has to have the outside if you want to go around the outside, have the better traction to go around the outside. And is he going to be able to get the traction? He's got to look at the difference in the traction up the inside as they go side by side up the hill towards Casino. Round the outside, there is contact, and I believe there's. He's not gone round. He has managed to save it.
Yeah, he did well saving that. Was a contact. Oh, what's that there? A bit of carbon just come off there, coming down into.
Jerry might not be the most amused by that particular move, but that is very difficult to side by side on a track like this. But I feel like for the most part that was done for the most part without any real contact there.
Not very often you get two drivers side by side.
Here we go, round the outside for Panda on Angelo, in towards the chicane, and he's done it. Lead move round the outside. Do we have a safety car?
Safety car, and that's for Grumpy Lion. Is there?
I didn't even see where. Yeah, he's died at the. He's died at the. I think the. Where he's near the. Towards the back of the field. I don't know where he's crashed about. As we have Jamie in the pits. And what is he going to go on to? I believe he has used all of the tyre compound, so let's see what the driver goes on to. Soft compound tyres.
Oh no,
no, it's hard. It's hard. Oh, Vapid's got an hard drive through.
Wow. You think you'd learn by your first mistake, wouldn't you? Never mind.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes the Delta is very difficult to keep to, but you'd think that would have not been an issue. But that's going to be interesting because Lesko has opted for the medium. Everyone behind Jamie's opted for the mediums. But Jamie's gone onto the hards. I wonder if he's going for longevity on those tyres, knowing the mediums will die sooner than the hard tyres will. But once again, the race gets neutralised by the safety car, and how does Jamie now tackle this? Because I don't know if these two in front will pit or if they want to keep hold of track position.
I don't know. Well, I think I'd want to keep track position. Did they need to change again?
No, I don't believe that Panda and Scott are both good on tyres. I believe they both used them. Scott hasn't used the softs yet, actually, to note. But Panda is fine. But the softs won't go at the end of the Grand Prix from here, though. Not even stretched, I don't think they will. So, Scott has left himself in a bit of a predicament here of what they're using that final tyre, because he's going to drop down a little bit if he has to go and use that tyre later on, unless he's trying to gamble on an R safety car coming out at some point. But Never try and gamble on or judge on a safety car coming out of Monaco because,
Especially on this game.
hmm,
You never know what it throws up.
indeed. However, everyone should catch up on this safety car at least, so no one should be left behind. So we will have an entire field on this one when we eventually get going again.
Certainly got my brain going this race, has Sam. Certainly
That's the
making me think.
beauty of races like this is we've lost Lion now. He was already out of the race anyway. But
Yeah,
that's
first time I've ever encountered a race like that. I've never commentated or raced anything, and it's quite exciting. I must admit, it's God knows how them drivers, because they've got to concentrate on the driving as well as should have pit now, should have pit in a minute. Or yes, it's
I feel like under the lights as well, like under sort of nighttime lights at Monaco, you get like a little bit more. You see the vibrance of some of these livery designs more.
true. Yeah. Well, he'd be getting a dark visor on now, I think.
Much like what they use at Singapore. Is it dark visors or clear visors they use
Well,
like Singapore?
I noticed Verstappen last time they were at Singapore had the actual amber visor.
Useful to know. Almost everyone is in the queue, I believe, apart from Kirby, who is still carried on. We're waiting for a catch-up, I believe. Once he finishes up, we will get the race back underway. However, Kirby is on 10-lap-old hard compound tyres, so I believe he is holding on to track position. And obviously, knowing Vapid has yet another drive-through. That's going to help him get in a place on the safety car restart.
Another lap on the safety car at least.
Indeed, which is going to help Scott and Panda out here, but those fresh tyres, even though they're going to take a little bit to heat up on Jamie's car, are going to be a lot more, they're going to be a lot better on traction and exits of corners, and around a track like this, I believe traction around the exits of corners is actually more important, due to the nature that you cannot overtake on a track like this.
Definitely.
As we are just waiting for Kirby to form up. I believe he has formed up at the back of the train. So we've now got everyone in the train. We'll probably see green flag running this lap. Scott will effectively become the safety car leader at the end of this lap on lap number 19. 20 laps to go in this Grand Prix. Only 3 retirements so far. That's been Cal and Goose. Obviously Goose died very early on just out the exit of the tunnel, as per where he said. Cal we know had issues and retired in the pit lane, and I believe Lion retired in a very similar place to where Goose retired.
He did. I think it was perhaps parked on his skid marks actually. But I've lost my train of thought now.
That does sometimes happen. It'll probably come back to you.
It does with my age. Yeah, safety car is in this.
I never said anything. You said that.
I just took the words out of your mouth. So that was it.
At least I can say that's not my fault. I said nothing on that.
I know.
Anyway.
I know what I was going to say. We're 50% done now with the race.
Yes. As here we go. Now, this is where tyre times are going to be crucial, but with this much pack bunch up, and Scott has gone. I think he's maybe caught out Panda a little bit here, because Panda's not quite gone with him. Yep, I believe.
Scott there, but no.
I think Jamie will come into some once he gets up to speed on those tyres, because let's go behind as well. Obviously, they're all in the same lap of tyres. How long? This is crucial for someone like Jamie to get past these 2 runners in front on 13-lap-old hards and 10-lap-old mediums as soon as possible. He needs to find any nook and cranny he can find in order to get himself past these first 2 runners, and his first car up is going to be Panda. Is he going to try and go down the inside here? You know you can make a move here if you can catch a driver out, run the inside there and have the outside if you can do it for the next corner. As we go through the tunnel, can Jamie make the move stick on Panda? Let's go on board and look back from Panda's car. Can he do it? As they go down towards the tunnel, he's going to defend the inside. No, he's not. He's left the inside wide open. Down the inside, there's contact. I think Panda's had to run himself a little bit wide. Jamie, there's a little bit of contact once again, as Jamie has to back out once again, and that has cost 2 seconds of a gap to Scott, and Scott will be saying thank you very much to Panda at the moment. And Jamie will be, there will be some colourful words probably in that cockpit at the moment for the British driver, who is currently not still able to make the move. As Kirby is the first one to pick up a time penalty in this race. Quite surprised he managed to do that. As there goes Vapid in the pits to serve his drive through, but can he make a move once again? As here comes Jamie down towards turn number 1. He hangs on once again, does Panda. This is all going to help out Scott, as obviously we know those mediums will die quicker than what the hard tyres will. As it's round, he tries thinking about a move down the inside there for a brief second as Jamie once again does. Is Mirabel, the inside of Mirabel, going to be open? No, it is not. He does not manage to get the move down the inside as of yet. As Konami's also into the pits as well for a new set of medium compound tyres. Just have the safety car. Look at the gap now already. Scott has got 3.3 seconds of a gap on Panda. Panda doesn't seem to have the same level of pace as what Jamie does. Let's see if Jamie can use a little bit of his battery here to try and propel himself past as we head down towards the harbour.
Don't think he's close enough.
No, he's not going to be close enough to make a move stick on this particular run. He has Kezlezgo to think about behind as well, and behind him he has Angelo. He has to worry about, and Jerry could also be our dark horse as well, sitting there in 6th place. If anything does go wrong for him, the car's in front to pick up the pieces if anything does go wrong in front. As we now head towards the final corner once again.
Jamie just catch up on these corners.
Yeah, he's having to use a lot of the battery here to try and get himself past. What is Panda looking for in battery is actually Panda slightly better on battery than what Jamie is. Jamie having to burn a lot of the battery, and I know for a fact this track it is very difficult to get ERS back once you lose it, and now Kezlezgo will be able to see that Jamie's light is flashing, knowing the fact that he has no battery left. In that car in front, there's a little bit of contact. I wonder if I think he got away with it there. No damage on Jamie's car. That is crucial. Ooh, very close with Kezlezgo behind in the DHL lookalike car, right behind on the medium compound tyres. I'm just going to refer to it as that because it looks very much like DHL colours.
Yeah, I'll go with you on that. As Jamie does brake a lot later than Panda.
That is the tyre difference, though, isn't it? That's the massive tyre difference they have, and now Panda he's not got much battery now either, but the thing is Kezlezgo on about 35% battery behind these two can now conserve a little bit as these two battle and maybe prepare a bit of an onslaught on the two cars ahead.
Yeah, he can drift a little bit with the stream. He's getting off Jamie, can't he?
Indeed. Jamie once again having to use the battery as we head down towards turn 1, but he's not close enough.
Nope.
However,
this is Angelo off a little bit as well now.
Angelo's about half a second back. Jerry's dropped out of DRS zone as well, or DRS detection, which is a second or less. 1.2 seconds for him, but I believe he'll get back into that pretty soon as well.
Yeah.
But at the moment, Scott is looking very good, and Panda is just backing Jamie up into everyone else, and it's just a little bit of a small train forming behind Panda, with Panda being the train driver at the front of the queue. Indeed.
Jerry's
As
back
here we go. Jamie's thinking about it now. We know that Panda has no battery either. In the back of this, just behind him now, or just in front of him, he obviously no one to be able to save energy off of, and that light flashing is going to tell Kezlezgo everything he needs to know behind. And Angelo, who probably is also saving battery as well. Yep, look at Angelo's battery.
80%, 83%.
Yeah, Angelo's just sitting behind. As there goes Panda into the pits, so does Angelo.
And Angelo, yeah.
And Jamie will be absolutely seething that he's been behind him that long and he's just held him up. That is now opened up Kezlezgo, yeah. Yeah, there will be, some very choice words. Jerry's dropped definitely out of the zone now, and he drops down to a queue of just 2 drivers. Jamie now has no battery to protect himself against Kezlezgo. Kezlezgo could be if he wants to be aggressive here, maybe put Jamie under pressure and see if he can make potentially a move stick. And Scott is probably going to be saying thank you in every single words possible to Panda. I wonder though if Scott is going to Scott definitely has to pit again though, so Scott has to get a gap, and it's only 4.5 seconds.
Yeah, Angelo's put a set of 10.5 old hards on, and Panda's put fresh mediums on.
Indeed, so Panda will be able to go to the end on those tyres. This is the thing, Mike. Do we think that Scott is going to be able to go to the end on these tyres?
No. No.
We definitely think
think
so. He has to pit. Actually, realising I'm saying that, he has to pit again anyway, because Scott is currently still has to use the soft compound tyres, because I believe he has not yet used them, and there goes Kozlezko.
Let's go. Yeah.
What's happening to
He'll be putting
Kozlezko?
arms. Will he be putting arms onto the end now? Oh, he's put softs on.
Softs? Has Kozlezko not used those? I'm gonna go check. I thought Kozlezko used every single tire.
Oh, my brain's
Oh no,
burnt
he
out,
didn't.
Sam.
No, he didn't actually. He did not use the softs, so he has now used them. So he has now used those tyres and he's now got going. Scott, as I say, still has to use the soft compound tyres. He will probably be saving that for when the track is at its most optimal in terms of the grip and the most amount he will get in terms of track grip off of the track at this particular point with all the rubber now laid down onto the track. And then we have
Jamie's
Jerry.
in a good position now.
Does have Jerry for company though. Jerry, once he's got out of traffic, has got himself close, and look at the battery difference between Jamie and Jerry here.
Yeah, they've harvested, yeah. Well, not harvested, have they?
Well, Jerry's on about 70%.
Yeah, 20
and Jamie's on about 20.
I'm using it.
Indeed. Panda, meanwhile, is looking at the back of Vapid. Obviously, Vapid, he's now stuck behind him, and now Panda's going to have exactly the same thing as Jamie's. Oh, Scott's in. And now Jamie will resume the lead of the Grand Prix, and Scott has gone onto the soft compound tyres. He's going to be rapid towards the end. I think he will come out in third place, so Scott will keep hold of third place from Vapid, because Vapid has his own troubles to deal with, because he has to deal with Panda, who is just behind him.
Front. Scott, well in front for third now.
Yep. Oh, it's actually going to be quite close.
Oh,
he's just caught. Just caught up. I don't think it was quite going to be enough though. Because Lesgo though, watch out for him in the background in this battle, because he's going to be on the soft compound tires. Whereas look at that, that was a near move as they go through Casino there for Panda, trying to get down the inside into Mirabel, but does not have any real space to be able to make a move, as Vapid obviously being on a 7 lap older tires here for Vapid than what the tires on Panda's car are.
Jerry's used his battery there coming down out of the tunnel, and has caught Jamie up really.
75. Look at the amount of battery though. I think Jamie at this point will be saving a little bit, knowing that he needs the battery to last. But it's going to be interesting. I think being the dirty air, those medium tires are not going to work as well, and obviously dirty air effects are not going to be kind to Jerry in the car behind. However, he's not really using the battery. He's kind of sitting behind for the moment.
Yeah, I can't. But another 12 laps on top of that 10 laps. I can't see them mediums going 22 laps. I don't know. Scott,
meanwhile, is 7.2 seconds back. It looks like, however, we have Panda, who's looking at trying to make a move up the inside as we go in towards Turner Rose, because let's go with the fast lap of the Grand Prix, a 13.3 for Kozlezko. In the background of these two, there's contact! Panda has lost an end plate.
He has. Struggling. Kozlezko gets past the... Oh no.
No, he is not. And he's not managed it. You can see where the damage is. It's on the right hand side. The end plate is missing. The end plate is gone. And I think obviously that is the damage model coming in, the simulation damage. Panda may well have some words potentially on that one. He could, well, we'll have to see how that one goes. Obviously we can't really see anything about what happened.
Yeah, he's gonna struggle on this track with that end plate missing, isn't he?
You do notice this, actually. I feel like you do notice damage on this track more than what you do on any other track.
Yeah. Let's go now. He's stuck behind him. He can't get way past him.
Yeah, this is not helping because Let's Go as he was trying to think about a move round the outside of Raskas. Is he going to be able to get the inside or the outside as there goes into the pits? As there goes Scott in the fast lap of 12.7. He is looking to build the gap up 2.9 seconds, the gap between himself and Jerry in front. We'll see how that gap does check out as we go up through the Casino Square and down towards Mirabel. You can see the gap in front as Jerry is still close though.
He is, isn't he? He is. He almost pushes.
Jerry, meanwhile, as I say, he's just sitting behind harvesting ERS. He doesn't really have to push at the moment. He may well be thinking about a move nearer towards potentially when he's tired, may well potentially fall off.
Look at Scott, how he's caught.
0.8 of a second is the gap. Top three very close on track. As here comes once again Jerry trying to make a move, but he's going to be too far back as they go through the chicane and swimming pool. And
Scott's pulled a second on these in half a lap, hasn't he?
Yep, but the meanwhile is catching is half the job. Overtaking is the more difficult part.
Yeah, we have said this. Because let's go as well. He needs to get past Vapid if he can, but
Yeah,
easier
indeed.
said than done.
Indeed, we'll stick on board with this just now. Let's see if Jerry can get himself any closer. I think Jerry's had a moment come at the final corner.
He has, yeah, he has got past.
Scott is past. I wonder if that was potentially tactical from Jerry, knowing the fact that his tyres are going to be worse off at the end of this race.
Yeah, just throw another spanner in the works, Sam. Yeah, my head's frazzled. So don't confuse me anymore.
Meanwhile, I'll quickly have a look at this battle's going on between Gizlesgo and Vapid. Gizlesgo's still close, but he's not going to be able to make anything stick at the moment. Too far back as they go into Mirabel as Gizlesgo. Yeah, he's going to. Those tires are not going to be as fresh as they were. As now Scott is going to be looking for the move on. It is 12 lap old hard tires versus 3 lap old softs. The soft tires we know will die quickly, and those hard tires are a very durable tire. Meanwhile though, Gizlesgo in the tunnel, using all the battery he has to try and get as close as possible. Panda is past Kirby for P7, I believe. Well, it's a moment for Vapid as he tries to go round the outside. Gizlesgo, they're going to go side by side into the back, and Vapid very wisely backs out of that one, realising what the tyre difference was, and deciding he didn't want any of that.
Scott's putting some pressure on Jamie now, mate. He's really trying always.
Indeed.
His battery up here, yeah. He's fingers on the button, I think.
Yep, finger on the buzzer for the ERS, if you want to call it that one. And he's going to try. The thing is, if you can get a gap going up the hill going side by side, you can disrupt the momentum of the car ahead, or the line of the car ahead as he goes side by side. He's got the line into, I think he's got it into Mirabel potentially. Oh, Jamie's hit the wall.
Oh dear, that's
no, Jamie's not out. And Jamie has got it going, but I think he has damage. He has no wing, actually. Jamie with no wing. So I think Jamie may have been concentrating a bit too much on where Scott was and didn't quite get his own braking zone right, unless there was maybe
like
not. Jamie's not going to be the best of use with that, but now he can go into the soft compound tyres and maybe will be able to push now towards the end of this race, as I believe we have 9 laps or 10 laps left in this Grand Prix.
We do. Yeah, I bet there's some language coming out of Jamie now. Yeah, but
probably some colourful words, let's put it that way.
Like rice baby or something like that.
I don't think we're thinking those words, I'm not gonna lie. I think we're thinking of certain other words in the English dictionary which we probably can't say on stream.
Will it be in the dictionary though?
I'm not sure. It'd be maybe not in the Oxford dictionary, but I'm trying to think like an urban dictionary perhaps. If you read an urban dictionary, you'll find the words in there.
So, Jamie, Jerry's putting the softs on, and Jamie's put another. Oh yeah, softs for Jamie.
Yeah, it's going to be softs now with 9 laps left in this Grand Prix. However, I believe Jamie might be coming in 4th here because of the amount of that having to repair the damage to the front wing.
Angelo's coming in for immediate softs.
Yep. Panda's already on those softs, so Panda's probably having a few choice words in his own in Dutch at this moment in time. As Kirby's in as well, so he's coming in for softs, I would think, as well at this point in the Grand Prix. Everyone on soft compound tyres, what will be a 6 or a 7 lap shootout to the end of the Grand Prix. I mean, from your experience, obviously, of previous games, how much more of it is it weird seeing an actual safety car come out in Monaco? Because obviously it never used to come out, as we said at the beginning.
Honestly, I think with 6 seasons that I've done comms with the RC, I've perhaps seen not a handful of safety cars. So yeah, and to have what's this, a 4th one?
This is 3. This is 3 safety cars and I believe 2 VSCs. I believe we've had this race.
So I've perhaps seen more safety cars in this race than I have with my history of Monaco. So yeah, it's and it has the race a bit more interesting though, hasn't it?
Indeed, as I say now, we have everyone almost forming up. Once again, we will just have to wait for Panda, Angelo and Kirby at the back of the field to form up. And then we will be back underway once again with Scott leading the Grand Prix, and it'll be interesting to see how him and Gizlesgo compare, because those two looked like they were very close on pace.
Yeah, they were. I think Gizlesgo has got a fair bit of pace up his sleeve actually, because earlier on in the race, I thought he was struggling, but he certainly come back into it and got used to this track and other races as well, and he's in a good position. But everybody's on a level now. Obviously, there's 8 cars left. It's not
Panda
completely
being
level,
on
but
the Scott and Kezlowski on the oldest tires.
yeah, strategy's out the window now. It's all down to pace.
Yes. Is this going to be? Do we think Vapid on the fresh tires, the first of the fresh tires in the softs, is going to be able to get an advantage on Kezlowski and Scott being on 6 and 7 lap old soft top compound tires just in front of it?
They will be turning now, particularly because Lesko's 7 laps. Because I would say 12, 13 laps maximum softs.
Bear in mind also with Kezlowski that Kezlowski stuck behind for a really long period of time behind another car and just could not overtake.
If Jimmy could get past Vapid,
he's in a good position here. But as I say, Vapid finally, I think Vapid has been bailed out a little bit by these safety cars, because obviously with those 2 drive-throughs, I wonder where he could have been without those in this race.
Definitely. But it's got another lap. I thought it'd have gone in by now.
Angelo into the pits.
And Kirby, yeah.
I wonder if they've had contact. Let me have a quick look. Let's have a quick look and see if there is an... No, there's no wings. No,
fresher tyres. That's it. No.
They must have not had fresh... Oh, someone's being held.
Kirby's must have a 5-second that he served. So he's all clean now.
That's a weird... Oh, that's... He has a 3-second though. I only saw him with a 3-second penalty. Oh yeah, that's a 5-second from earlier on with Cal, I believe. That must have not been served yet.
Right, yes he did, didn't he? He did.
Yeah, he still only has that penalty. He's the only one with penalties, as is going to be shown right about now. Yep, 3 seconds for Kirby is the only penalty we've had so far in this race. So, while we are waiting for the safety car to come in, which is going to be a little bit away yet, hopefully, we have position changes. Up 2 for the first 3. Jamie is down 3 at the moment. Jerry up 6, the most so far. Panda down 4, and Angelo down up 3, and Kirby is exactly where he started.
Right.
It makes for some interesting stops at the back. I mean, we've got 7 stops for Panda, 8 stops for Angelo, and 8 stops for Kirby at the back of the field.
Mind they had damage. So was Jamie, but he's used his stops. He's used his stops well, Jamie, hasn't he?
Indeed, safety car line is off, and once again Scott becomes the effective safety car leader. He can choose to go as quick or as slow as he dares. Can Kezlowski in the pseudo DHL IndyCar crossover the car?
He's gone. He's gone.
And I think Kezlowski has been caught out potentially once again as Vapid is looking to try and get himself past. And I don't know if he's going to get close enough though going in towards the first corner, and Jamie is also going to have to sit behind for the moment. And I don't think Jamie had the best of lines coming out of there, but it does also look like Jerry has been caught out on that restart. He's already a second out of DRS, or round about that, with Pandas right behind him.
Well, Scott's got a second lead as well now over Kezlowski.
Yeah, Kezlowski definitely caught out by that safety car restart there. Didn't obviously have enough tire heat in those tyres to get himself going. Yet the gap is a second, and now Vapid is going to be all over him. Those tires 6 lap older on that car. It's going to be an interesting one here. Comes Vapid using a little bit of the battery. Is he going to go down the inside? Nope, that's not a good idea. There's Scott with a 3-second.
Wow, that's going to muck him up.
Scott with a 3-second penalty. I mean, that's a very easy corner to cut there. I will say that's one of the few corners I believe you can really cut in terms of it being a problem. That and right here, I believe.
Has he outbraked himself there?
Potentially he could have, but that's disastrous for Scott there, as he now has to pull out a massive gap, but he has to rely on Vapid now battling his look at Jamie in the background behind Vapid, looking to try and make the move here. I wonder if there's going to be any tactics potentially here, or if Vapid is just going to go, no, I am going to fight you for this position, as Jerry, I believe, has lost 2 positions. Oh, there's contact!
Panda, is it? No.
Yeah.
Somebody, was it Panda?
There's contact at the back of the field. Jerry doesn't. Does Jerry have a front wing? I don't know if he does. Yes, he still does have a front wing. I think there's been some contact. Oh, Jamie's got down the inside. I've just missed it, but he's got down the inside of Mirabel.
Yeah, there was red carbon on the start-finish straight there. I noticed, so somebody's missing an end plate or something.
Yep. Also, why is Kirby on a set of intermediates now? That's a very curious one. I don't know what that one's about, Kirby.
That's how Americans do it.
Oh, down the inside!
Oh, good move.
Man, he's
good
made
move.
it. What a move round the inside, and there's good respect there between the two drivers. That is the difference in tyres. Now Vapid has got to clear him, and Vapid would have just looked at that and went, "What? How has he just managed to get past him so easily?"
Yeah, Vapid's dropping back. What's up with Vapid? He's dropping back.
He got damage potentially. Yeah, he's got damage. He must have damage.
Yeah, he's in the pit. So he must have. But it was red carbon. I saw on start finish straight. So here he is, Sus Jerry.
Why is Vapid gone into intermediates? Why has he gone into intermediates? Why has he not gone into another set of softs? I mean, he may have ran out of tyres at this point potentially. I mean, that's I think that could have happened.
Yeah, so it was Jerry's carbon, then it was on the start finish straight. So we've sussed that one out. But Jamie is.
Jamie now is going to be inheriting the race lead here from most likely from Scott when he serves that penalty come the end of the race. Could potentially get removed in steward's inquiries at the end if there are any warnings that the fills were not just. But I also think Scott's going to drop out of the top three. He's going to drop to fourth or fifth at the moment. Because let's go. There's another penalty, so now Panda's up to, I believe Panda's now in the podium, with Angelo now also in the podium potentially as well.
It's raining.
Is it raining? It is!
It is, that's
oh!
why they put intermediates on. Whoa,
we've got 4 laps to go!
Just wants to join.
Oh, this race has literally had everything. I honestly thought it was just a reason there, as we have the other would have been commentator now join.
This is put a cat amongst the pigeons now with a little bit of rain that's falling.
Indeed. Is it going to rain hard enough in these remaining 4 laps of the Grand Prix?
I'm here. I just thought I would come by and say hi to chat and apologise for causing a safety.
I mean, you didn't. Oh, you weren't the only one.
Apologising for not being here.
You're not the only one.
I mean, you kind of jumped in with no practice, so.
Yeah, well, I mean, you heard me, Sam, on the phone. I was running.
Yes, you were. That's why it was going to be easier for me.
Running up the road.
It looks like Vapid. Angelo looks like he's trying to make him potentially on Panda as well. These two have been somewhat close all race.
Yeah.
And it seems like Angelo hasn't quite been able to get the hand on here, but it's not going to rain hard enough, I don't think. Not unless we get monsoon downpours.
Yeah, losing time. Vapid is on Angelo.
Yeah, he's lost half a second so far from what I've just been saying. As Jamie is almost dropped out of the, Scott's got to get another 9/10 on Jamie to get that 3-second covered. However, I don't think Jamie's going to allow that to happen. However, I think we could have Panda on the podium here as well. Let's go and see and have a look at the leader. It's 6 seconds to Panda here at the moment, so he needs to get a little bit closer. Because Let's Go is dropped behind. Indeed.
Gone now.
And Jamie is currently still trying to get himself as close as possible. Panda's out! He's lost it Casino!
Yeah, Casino, yeah.
I was on board with that, and I think he's clipped it. He's just clipped the wall and he's out of the Grand Prix. We're not going to have a safety car at this point, obviously.
Yeah,
but
Jerry gets
that's it.
Vapid.
Yeah, that's...
Jerry's just made a move on Vapid.
Yeah, that's
I like my woman how I like my coffee. Strong, bitter, and ready to keep me up all night.
Okay, then we don't need the words of what you enjoy on a Saturday evening. That's for after the podcast, after the race. Yeah.
Where did that
professionalism.
Where did that come from?
I don't know. I just said something random.
That was a moment then for Scott. Did he catch that there?
I don't know if I've seen that. No, I think Scott
was drifting.
I wonder. Oh yeah, that's coming down. Is that coming down heavier now? Is there any streaks coming from behind the cars yet? It still looks way too dry. It's going to be an interesting one as Jamie's still 1.5 seconds back because Let's Go is not going to move from where he finishes actually, because Let's Go will lose 3rd place to Angelo here with that penalty, and I think Scott will hang on to 2nd place because of the gap between himself and Let's Go.
Yeah, because we're on the final lap.
Indeed. Bloody hell, this is a Monaco race. It's absolutely flown by.
For a Monaco race, this has been the best Monaco race I've ever
Yeah.
commentated on.
I mean,
It's been
Monaco, when
good.
it's a good race, good battles, it's a good race. It's just the fact that you just have to get them every so often. But I think if we had a few more laps in this Grand Prix, this rain could have made a huge impact.
Yeah, definitely. Angelo's all over the back of Clisesco now as well.
Yeah, not much battery between the two of them, I don't think. No, Angelo's on almost nothing in terms of battery, and he's going to try. This is going to be about the final chance he has to make a move here, and Kozlezko is just going to keep hold of it, but he could potentially get it back. We're going to go back to the battle for the lead though, because Scott is going to take the checkered flag and win on track, but I believe through penalties, the one penalty he picked up through near the end of the Grand Prix is going to be costly here, as it's 8/10 the gap, and it's going to be Scott to come round and win here at the Rainbow Race in Monaco. But it's going to be Jamie, the master of Monaco, as per what he says himself, who takes the race win, because let's go with third. But it's going to be Angelo who takes the final spot on the podium, the Italian. I wonder if anything will be said on the tickets about that potentially afterwards. They'll have to wait and see on that one. And Jerry is going to be, yep, Jerry is going to finish in P5. He has managed, part of this really is also survival, and all of those who have survived, Panda, I think, is going to be kicking himself at the end of this, because obviously what has happened to him, I think he just clipped the wall at the inside of Casino Square at the exit as Jerry comes home in 6th. The intermediate gamble for Vapid has not paid off. He is down on lap times, and I believe he's coming through. I wonder if the tyres are just starting to come to him now, but it still looks bone dry on this track. The droplets only just getting heavier now, and I believe Kirby and the other DHL livery, I believe, or something very similar to that, two DHL looking liveries, just two different designs of DHL liveries, and Kirby across the line to finish the Grand Prix. So that delivered. A small number of cars does not mean a boring race.
It doesn't.
Can confirm.
So Jerry gets driver of the day.
I'm going to ask you, who do you think your driver of the day is going to be?
Papa Goose.
No, you glitched yourself into a wall. That doesn't count.
Look, all right. I won the race because I was the first one dead. Because I used every tyre bar one set of tyres. If you include qualifying, I've used every set of tyres until I died.
Yes,
so
unfortunately. No, you did not. Unfortunately not. We can't, and we don't have lengthy time to discuss this in the podcast. Anyway, podcast, race again.
I am a driving god, okay?
You will laugh.
This is why that I've been nerfed enough that I'm not allowed to race in this championship. I have to commentate it.
Last. Look, there you are. Last.
Yes.
11 out of 11. Last.
But the thing is,
anyway,
right,
can we just
out of 11,
can we just like think with this for a second? I still have to finish this race off.
Split one and one together, so it's technically first twice.
Right, over to you, Sam.
Okay then. Yeah, anyway, I'm going to try and take some control of what's going on here. Jamie wins on penalties with Scott getting that 3-second penalty on with only a few laps left to go. Angelo takes the third and final spot on the podium with Kozlezko in P4. Jerry in P5 with Vapid in P6. After 2 drive-throughs, still gets P6. Not a bad job from Vapid. And Kirby was the last finisher, also with a penalty, up 1 position. Panda, obviously that issue with Mirabo on the penultimate lap. And then your other DNFs were Grumpy Lion at Cal 17F1 and unfortunately Goose, who glitched himself into a barrier out of the tunnel. Anyway,
glitched.
I love this game.
Abbreviated commas, glitched.
Yes,
you need to I will show you the clip. You will see.
Can we talk about this after the race, please? This is not for the race thing, just now. Anyway, I'm going to ask you, Mike, for your driver of the day.
Well, I'm going to go with Jamie. I thought his strategy was spot on. It was unfortunate that he hit that the wall, which I don't think was 100% his fault. He was perhaps concentrating on something else. But I don't know. Yeah, I'll stick my nose out and say Jamie, personally. How about you, Sam?
I'll go with Jamie, because I think that's a fair good choice there. I just need to get the people into the party that are going to be...
Angelo,
just need to get... Where is Jamie? We'll go
how are you, friend? All right?
And we need to get Scott.
Are you happy with your race?
Where's Scott? There he is. Anyway, I'm just waiting to get everyone in. Yeah. Right. Do we have everyone in? Yes, we do. And everyone, just make sure to include your audio so everyone can hear your dulcet tones. So everyone can hear you on the stream. Oh, right, I see where that's come from. Anyway, that's not for that right now. That's another thing for another day. Raver. Right, so we will first come to third place in this race, who was Angelo in the end. Talk us through what your plan was going into this Grand Prix and how you were going to go about it.
So I tried to get rid of the slow tires right from the beginning, so just I could have a chill race and just get all the tires away and do whatever I want afterwards. And I had quite a few unfortunate moments with a few collisions or just my controller disconnecting twice and driving my car into a wall. But other than that, I just tried to keep it clean, avoid accidents. At the end, like, tried to make the most of other people's accident, and I ended up in third place. It was a bit lucky, I do have to say, but it's all that matters is you get the car to the finish line, and I got it to third. I'm happy about that.
You are right on that front. Monaco is all about getting it to the end of the Grand Prix, and you indeed do so. So, with Austria up next in this particular championship, are you looking forward to the Red Bull Ring?
Oh yes, I love most of the tracks in this game. There's not a track I don't love in this game. I'm looking forward to pretty much anything that is coming my way in this championship. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it.
Confident Angelo there.
Yep. Congratulations, Angelo. Good third place for yourself.
Thank you.
Obviously, we will have to see on tickets if anything does happen on that particular finish, but you've also got third place for yourself just now on, obviously, just before all that stuff gets sorted. We move on to second place.
Is Angelo confident that he'll escape the stewards?
If what?
No, I mean,
confident? Oh, so, who's speaking?
No, I mean, what I mean is for Kozlowski, if he wants to get that penalty removed, that's what I mean by that.
Ah, right.
He's actually done. Yeah, that's for stuff to be discussed. Otherwise, that's not for right now.
We'll find out later on. At the moment, it is how it is for now. So
yeah, we're just going off preliminary
Are you
results.
confident that you'll escape the stewards room, Angelo?
About the penalty removal for Kozlowski?
No,
because you did say you had a couple of bumps and.
Yeah, no, I'll look into it afterwards because it was mainly with the same person twice, but it's not that much of a deal. But I'll look into it. I'll see how bad it was, and I'll decide if yes or no.
Okay. Congratulations on your third place.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
We move on to P2 provisionally, unless anything does happen in results.
Very provisionally.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes, you can talk about this afterwards, Scott. But we're talking about you in second place at the moment. You can fix this afterward. You can sort about this afterwards. But second place for yourself, obviously provisionally, before penalties, removals, that sort of thing. Talk us through your strategy going into this race and how you were going to go about sorting each of the tire compound use for the race.
Well, I knew starting on the hards would probably be the best way to go because that would leave me the opportunity to run softs at the end, and I knew that would put me in a very good position, but unfortunately a couple of ill-timed safety cars didn't really help me out much. There was drivers going around there who had damage to their floors and their wings, their rear wings, I meant. So it was a bit difficult for them to keep it straight on the circuit, so I don't really blame them for the incidents that happened, mistakes happen and whatnot. That penalty, I'm going to get a penalty removed, and then I think there might be other investigations necessary, but
those can be discussed afterwards, obviously.
Yes, obviously. But I am very happy with my performance. I was I had good speed. Um, Once the rain started to come down, wasn't too good because my softs were a few laps older than the guys behind. But I know Monaco's about track position. I held track position. I made some good overtakes as well, which I'm happy with. And overall, I think the race might have been the best one yet for Papa Champs in terms of the entertainment value that we had tonight.
Got to agree with you. Got to agree with you,
Even
mate.
with low numbers,
We
it's still
will
provided.
get low numbers because certain people,
It's
um, I
probably
think
this
have
is
turned
for
around and
discussions for another time, Scott.
been
For on
unsure
stream.
about the gimmick. But
Yeah.
Let's talk about Monaco.
Yes, let's talk about the
Safety,
race stats.
safety cars.
safety
something
cars,
that's
yes.
Me and Sam had the conversation on the while we were streaming, and I've
About
not
3
been
safety
part
cars,
of the
2
commentary team.
VSCs.
There's more
Three safety
more
cars,
safety
two
cars.
ABSCs. Was it four?
Okay.
I don't know. Might have been three, might have been four. I think it was actually three. But yeah, that last one, it's a bit unfortunate because I'd just taken the lead and I was gonna cruise off into the distance, but that gave everyone else a chance to stick a fresh set of tires on. And honestly, I wouldn't be in the position I'm in right now had that not came out.
Fair enough.
Around to get some of these
Austria.
and stuff.
Yeah. Austria up next, around the Red Bull Ring. How are you feeling going into that, Scott?
Well, obviously, I've been a big fan of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, which has unfortunately collapsed in recent. So that's why I put them next to each other. I know it's a bit weird having Hungary before Silverstone, but for me, just the Austro-Hungarian leg of the season just sounds nicer.
So we're talking about the track here, Scott.
The track
Not
itself. The track itself. I
Scott, I'm
it's
just
gonna
going to
be fine.
interject. Start thinking about what you're saying. This isn't your stream.
Well, that's good for you. Yeah, next week, obviously there's a break week, and then Austria is going to be fine, and we'll see how that goes. I haven't driven that track, outside of career mode, so I like it. I've had good races there, very good races there in the past.
So we look forward to obviously seeing how you get on round Austria not next week, but the week after. Obviously
Yes.
provisionally P2, and now we move on to the self-proclaimed man of Monaco, as said by the man himself, and your race winner.
I never said that about myself.
I thought you did.
People gave that nickname. But yeah, carry on, please.
Yeah.
Well,
So
you delivered again, Jamie. So
you did deliver
you're
again.
my master of Monaco. So
you would also
right.
drive for the day as well. From both of
Oh,
us.
thank you.
And so, obviously, you know this track like the back of your hand. And so, knowing that, what was your strategy going into something like this? Obviously, you can say it now because it's all done and gone.
Drive fast, don't crash. If I need to go for a move, make sure I'm set on making the move and not put someone in the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Which...
Talking about walls, did that wall jump out at you, Jamie? Or
not talking about it.
Beef! I love beef, man.
This is not the time for this. Can we just concentrate,
no,
please?
My question was to Jamie because we noticed can't remember who it was that was coming side by side with you.
I believe it was Scott. You two were
Scott
side by
with it,
side,
yeah.
and then into Mirabel, I believe it was.
Were you concentrating on Scott coming on your right hand side? Can you talk me through it, Jamie? Let's see.
Oh yeah, it's not a too wide corner.
Hmm.
It's...
Oh, is it not?
Can we not discuss this, please? Can we please not discuss this on stream? This can go afterwards. Yes, can we not please discuss this? I'm bringing this hard down now. Can we
Yeah,
just finish this?
this is why I wasn't originally talking about it.
Yes. Anyway,
But
we are
it is
focused in
what
the
it
moment
is.
that you've won the race for just now. So, with obviously you yourself, obviously before anything, you won this race. And how do you feel going into the break week and then the next round after that at Monaco? Monaco? Not Monaco, just
Austria.
Monaco.
Austria.
Monaco again. We'll see. I haven't driven Austria much on this game, but we'll see.
Okay.
I've got Team Level 43 stuff to do as well, so that's taking up most of my time. And
Okay.
yeah, but we'll
Fair
see how
enough.
it goes. Austria usually provides good racing, so
Reprofiled as well, I believe, for this game, so it's going to be a little bit of a change for the drivers. But we will have a break week in this particular series, and then we will be back for the Red Bull Ring at Spielberg next time out. So join obviously your normal commentator duo of Mike and Andrew, who will be taking you through the action on that one, unless there is any other things that happen, unless you might get my dulcet tones once again. But we are going to end the stream there. So from me, Mike, and everyone else in the parties at the moment, we hope you enjoyed the stream and the race, even though it was low numbers, and we look forward to seeing you for the race in Spielberg in 2 weeks' time. Goodbye.
Yeah, thanks, Sam. Bye bye.